Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, it's Street Level Spirituality coming at you with another session, another live stream, another night of hanging out and digging deep into the emotions of our human experience. Now, I'm not sure where my music went, but let's figure it out. There we go. There we go. Okay, well, yeah. All right, well, there's a lot of confusion for you, but we're back. We're alive, and music should be back down here somewhere. Anyway, tonight is a special night. It is the night before the Scorpio full moon, and there's a lot of emotions rising already tonight. It's a watery moon. It's a moon full of feelings, and I have a goal to reach 50 subscribers tonight. If anybody wants to help me do it, that would be awesome. Anyway, May's well kicked in here. Last night we had some good readings, had some real good connections. I had a good connection with Anastasia. She was very kind and gave me a wonderful donation. Really appreciated that. Usually we kick back, maybe do a little bit of reading about astrology or tarot. Do a little chit chat about something, or while we get people come in. But tonight we're gonna mix it up. Get cards all over the place here. There's some more cards. We got these cards. We have the Edgar Casey deck my friend Heather gave me. Thank you, Heather. It's very kind of her. So what I was thinking we could do is pull a card for the evening and take it from there. Now, what's the music at? I feel like it should be like... I can't hear it, but I think it's around there. I think that's about right. Anyway, we're going to be doing the Edgar Casey deck here in a moment. And let's pick a card for this upcoming full moon in Scorpio, which we can read about a little bit. This full moon is about getting in touch with getting your needs met. So often we can, or not often, but for some people it's sometimes, we can start to have guilt about having our needs met, or we can not really see clearly about how we're going to go about getting those needs met, what's appropriate, what's not. And then when we don't have these needs met over a long period of time, we start to feel a little stale, we feel unfulfilled, and then we stifle ourselves and maybe even tell ourselves we don't deserve things, you know. So this is a great opportunity for us to really get in touch with our feelings, and really start to ask the tough questions, which are, you know, how can I liberate myself from this stagnation I'm going through and these feelings I'm having, and, you know, how can I be constructive about getting my needs met in ways that, you know, respect other people and empower everyone involved. So anyway, this is probably the most powerful full moon of the year in regards to emotionality, and it's just a really good time to kind of ask the tough questions of what it's going to take to, you know, bring us to the next level. So it's different for everyone. Anyway, I've been working on this setup for a while now, and I'm pretty happy with the purple. I got the lights in the background. I've got this red light here. The red light kind of ties in with this red here on the velvet. So maybe it'll even suggest that it's kind of reflecting against me, you know. I just redid the logo. We went from Street Level Spirituality, which is my main channel, my main page, my main website. StreetLevel.Live is the website. Yes, not .com, .live. It's a website, StreetLevel.Live. And anytime I do live broadcasts, that's StreetLevel.Live. Anytime I do any of my pre-recorded videos for the month, that's going to be Street Level Spirituality, my series called Hangin' With. So I'm finally getting it all figured out. It's been a while. But check out StreetLevel.Live, the website. I got flower essences. I've got some cool hats and shirts. You can book a reading there. You can book a tarot reading. You can get your chart done. You can get a birth chart. You can get a natal chart. You can get compatibility chart. You can get a relationship chart. So if you want to see kind of how your dynamic is with your romantic partner, you can get more information on the areas that you have strengths and weaknesses. You can read about your Venus signs together. So that's how your love nature and how you guys communicate with each other. So all that's doable. I've had some really great people stopping by in the last week. It's been really nice. I'm trying to stream almost every day, maybe every other day. Took a few days off, but I had a great time last night. And, surprisingly, I thought with YouTube I'd have a lot more trolls, but I've had one troll. That's about it. No big deal. I entertained him. Probably bored him that I cared and wasn't upset. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to kick it off. Oh, yeah, I did want to say this. So the format is the Hangin' With series. It's a long format, 30 to 45 minutes to maybe an hour sometimes. That's for each sign for every month. That's going to be a pre-recorded format. And I'll have a little more fun with that. We can go on adventures together and do stuff like that. And then the Street Level Live is going to be the live readings and spiritual discussions, just like this. And so far, the tarot readings and astrology kind of connection seems to be a good connection. So we'll continue to do that. So this is Street Level Live. And then we have for the live streams, and then we have Hangin' With, which is the pre-recorded videos for each month for each sign. And then we're going additionally to that, we'll have some other productions like we did for our practical spirituality video, which you should check out on the YouTube channel, where we discuss different spiritual topics and things like what's the root of emotions, why do we have emotions, human need, understanding basic spiritual principles. So we're trying to keep it street level, on a level that everyone can understand. It's not a religious thing. It's about how do we generate more goodness for a more spirited life, because the world sucks. It's a tough time right now. People are negative. People are angry. People are wrapped up in technology. It's tough to do this work because there's so much technology involved. Hey, what's up? Oh, it's Jakari. Hey, Jakari, how are you? Apparently my chat bot does not want to participate. I've looked it up. I've looked up how to reset it. I've reset it. It just won't participate. So I apologize. The exclamation mark join is not working, but I will get you in at a reading, and working together, I'm sure we can keep everyone in order. Jakari, thank you for stopping by. You are the first reading of the night. How can I help you? What question do you have? And how can I help you with that? Love question, work, career. Sometimes we can just ask about our spiritual growth. Hopefully your reading the other night helped you out. Did it help you out? It was a nice reading for you. It's nice to hang out. It's nice to hang out talking about life and things, so I appreciate you joining me. Excellent, excellent. Well, thanks for stopping by. We're just getting going here. Yeah, man, absolutely. Appreciate it. I do my work during the day, connect with my kids, and then at night, it's time to get live. Anyway, I was going to pull a Edgar Casey card. So why don't you, while you're formulating your question, I'll go ahead and pull this here. Love regarding me and Mackenzie. What has she thought of me today? Okay, excellent. Well, I can do a 3-card reading for you there. If for some reason you want to do a full reading, any donation amount will give you a full card reading, but I'm sure we'll be able to give you the same answer or a meaningful answer either way, so no worries about that. And I do appreciate the subscribe and the like yesterday, or I think it was yesterday or the day before. That was very thoughtful of you. I am trying to get my subscribes up to 50. I'm getting close. I'm just starting this channel. Anyway, so let's pull an Edgar Casey card, and maybe, Jakari, there's a message for you in all this. So let's go ahead and mix these up. I don't know if you know who Edgar Casey is, but he was what they called the sleeping prophet. And he was a fellow that in the late 1800s until about 1940, they would put him under hypnosis, and he had this voice that would come through him, this voice that was kind of this higher consciousness of himself, that was able to tap into information that was much beyond his own knowledge. And he channeled a lot of things that were helpful to people and health conditions and things like that, but also just in generally in the human condition. So anyway, always inspiring. Let's check these out. I'm going to move these cards over here. And then we'll get right to Jakari. Alright, see what we got here. See what we got here. See what we got here. Okay, I'm going to actually pull up the stream here just so I can see how it's streaming. Make sure it's streaming well. Volume is down. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Yeah, it's a guy, they would put him under hypnosis. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, really interesting. There's a book called There Is a River about his life story. It's absolutely shocking, stunning. I mean, really weird stuff. You know, this guy was so in touch. There was a story one time, and this is, I guess, on the darker side of all of it, but he was in New York in a skyscraper, and this elevator door opened up, and he was supposed to get in, but he looked at all their faces, and he didn't feel right about it, so he didn't get in the elevator. And then something like the rope on the elevator broke, and it crashed, and anyway, the people died in the elevator. And later on, when people asked, they said, well, how did you know not to get in the elevator? And he said, I didn't know that something bad was going to happen. He said, I just looked into their eyes and I didn't see a future. Now, isn't that chilling? So anyway, that's a book called There's a River. It's the biography of Edgar Cayce. Absolutely fascinating, because it reads like a good thriller or mystery novel, but it's supposedly based on a true story. So it's absolutely fascinating. So anyway, Jakari, I hopefully got a minute here. I'm just going to shuffle these Edgar Cayce cards, and then we'll take it from here. All right, here we go. Let's do one more shuffle here. And Jakari, why don't you help me out and pick a number between 1 and 3 for the Edgar Cayce card deck, and you can be the one to guide the direction of where that goes. All right. Two. Jakari says 2. Alright, so let's go ahead and break the deck. We'll pop it out for 3. He said number 2, so let's pull this up here. Get the deck back together. And I'm going to flip the view so we can see a little closer here. And Jakari's specially selected message for the evening for us is... Here we go. It says, he speaks sometimes in this very kind of old type of language, you know, thy, thee, you know, that kind of stuff. May thy light so shine that others seeing thy good work may take hope again. Now, that's beautiful, isn't it? So, what basically saying is that may we shine so bright in our intentions and our goodness that other people seeing the things that we do, that would give them hope that there's goodness in the world. And you know, this is really meaningful. I've been on kind of this thing lately where I've been thinking about how it just kind of feels sometimes because of the way things are in the world, that, you know, there's a lot of darkness or ignorance or anger, a lot of anger. You know, you see it online, a lot of people trolling and, you know, just that kind of energy of struggle and conflict. And you know, I think something like this is inspiring. Anyway, so I really appreciate everyone stopping by. I appreciate the good vibes. Jakari, thank you for stopping by. May your light shine so bright that it may give other people hope also, Jakari. So that's your message. We're going to leave this up here, and then maybe as people come in, we can share that message with them. Oh, we got another viewer here. Welcome. We just pulled an Edgar Cayce card. I don't know if you saw it, but let's just read it one more time real quick for you also. May thy light so shine that others seeing thy good work may take hope again. Shine bright and inspire others to see goodness in the world. We're going to leave this card right up here while we do Jakari's reading here. Jakari has a love interest named Mackenzie, and we've talked about her a little bit yesterday, I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was the day before, but I thought it was yesterday. And he was curious. It looks like they spent some time together today. And he was curious, you know, how she was kind of receiving him today. Now, Jakari, I just read the cards the way I see them. This is Tarot for spiritual growth. So sometimes the message comes in an indirect way, or sometimes it's insight into our own perspectives or behaviors. I really don't know how it's going to come, but I'll read the cards exactly the way I see them. Are you open to that? Yeah, that's a nice message, isn't it? And it's, you know, it really is affirming because, you know, I do, you know, brand development and product development work, usually like logo design, graphics, marketing, stuff like that, which I enjoy. The clients that I get, I try to make sure that they're good clients, you know, people that are doing good things or being good people. So that it's not bad, you know, but, you know, this tarot stuff, it took me a lot of courage to just all of a sudden be like, hey, I do tarot and astrology. It's something I've done my whole life, but to really own it as something to connect with other people has been actually a little harder than I thought as far as finding the courage to do it. It's kind of this starting over feeling, you know. And but you know, I just really want to see more goodness in the world. You know, I feel a little sad about it, to be honest with you. So anyway, so let's see. Okay, let's just see where this takes us. So I'm just going to give this one more shuffle here. Make sure everything's mixed up nice and good. And that we're tuning in to Jakari's energy. And that Jakari will receive the message he needs most to help him on his spiritual path and fulfilling his dreams and being of service to himself and others in the world. All right, Jakari. So Jakari, why don't you do the same for me and pick a pile between 1 and 3, and you can be the director of your future. And for our other viewer guest, if you're checking things out, feel free to ask a question. Things are slow right now. A little bit later, it can pick up, and it can be hard to get a reading. So if you do want a reading, just go ahead and let me know what question you have, whether it's life, love, whatever it might be, and we'll get you right next in line. Jakari would like number 3. Okay, Jakari. Let's go ahead and get 3 cards out and see. Okay, now let me think about this for a second, because sometimes I do spreads left and right, sometimes I do up and down, depending on the nature of the question. So let's see. We can look at it from the perspective of where you're at. I'm trying to think from her perspective. Let's do a vertical spread, and we'll take it from the point of view of her, okay, and how she's feeling and what her perspective here, okay. So what we're going to discover is kind of where she stands from today, what the spiritual realms are communicating that is most helpful in the situation, and also what's driving this from her perspective, okay? Okay, so she's tuning into something here. Let me move some of this mess I've got on my desktop here. I've got a lot of stuff sitting around. Okay, so we've got the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so she's kind of doing her own thing a little bit here. Let's see here. From the spiritual realms, there's some big change or transformation. Let's look a little more into this. So the tower usually signifies some sort of big shift or something like that. So she may be going through some sort of transformational thing on a more of a spiritual level. And whenever people are going through a more deeper transformational thing on a spiritual level, because this is the card from the spiritual realms, is sometimes they need time to kind of explore or kind of figure out what's going on, right? So it's when things kind of come apart a little bit within themselves, within ourselves. I mean, we've all gone through times where we feel a little disheveled or not grounded in kind of where we're coming from or how we're presenting ourselves. And sometimes we just need a little time to kind of get our footing again, and then we feel clear again. So deep inside of herself, she may be going through something that's very transformative on a spiritual level, And it's a great time to just get curious. It's a great time to be curious about where she's coming from and kind of what she's experiencing, ask a lot of questions. I mean, nobody ever hates somebody who asks how you're doing, right? What's going on. So great time for that. In regards to the Three of Pentacles in reverse is the current state of where she's coming from right now, is she may be, she might be kind of in a process of discovering who she is right now in regards to how she makes her way in the world, right? So the Three of Pentacles in the upright position, this is kind of the master craftsman doing their work. And so when it's in the reverse position, this is somebody who's kind of in the process of discovering that, what does she have to offer the world in a big way? And with the Tower in the spiritual realms, that might be something that's motivating this kind of look. I don't know if she is facing job issues in regards to the virus right now, or it's just bringing up a lot for her in really asking herself who she really is and what she really has to offer. So it's a great time to be sensitive to what she's going through, and that will really demonstrate the concern and love that you have for her, right? So the third card here is the card in the subconscious position for her, right? So what's really motivating her behavior in all this? And don't worry, Jakari, I'm going to go ahead and pull some other cards in direct relationship to you and her. But I just wanted to first kind of get an idea of where she's coming from right now. In the subconscious realms, we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands it's some sort of perseverance or challenge that she's facing. But this is, what's motivating her. She wants to overcome something. She wants to move forward in her life. And I think it's just going to take her some time to kind of reevaluate kind of who she is and what she's doing in the world. I think she might feel a little lost as far as what her true value is, or what she can do. Now, in regards to your guys' relationship, let's look at this. Let's pull 3 cards. Okay. Well, so I think that the thing here with the Knight of Cups in reverse is to be really mindful that we're not rushing ahead too quickly, right? That we're not. Sometimes you can get really excited. It's kind of similar to the reading that we had the other day. It's just to be mindful to not rush into something out of our own desires, in spite of somebody's current state or needs, right? This might be a situation where you're learning patience, but immediately we have fast forward movement into really looking at the world and the options out there. So, this can mean 2 things. It can either mean that on one level, it could mean that she may not see that you have an offer, or that your offer, like I said, could feel a little rushed for her. So it's one of the two. She's either not seeing it, or that we just want to make sure we're not pushing anything, so to say, right? So, but you do have fast forward movement into looking at options in the world. So, let's get a clarifier on this, because who are these options? What are these options about? Well, somebody wants family. So it's either you or her. And I think that's going to be a deal breaker in this situation. So whether it's you or whether it's her, I don't know if you're the kind of person who, is just really excited to be with her, or if you actually have family and in mind, right? Hey, Stephanie and Daisy, thanks for joining. My robot is not participating or helping me tonight, but I'll get you in that order of Stephanie and Daisy right after Jakari here. Absolutely. Okay. So anyway, Jakari, I'm not sure where you're coming from. She might want family. You might want family. But these things all need to be communicated, and there's a step-by-step process of being mindful and delicate and sensitive to other people's needs and balancing that against our own. So again, to be real frank with you, I wouldn't push any points. I wouldn't rush anything in this situation. It's a great opportunity to get to know her more and to discover this process she's going through. I don't think she's going to be ready to move forward until she goes through her own spiritual development, her own spiritual work, this tower moment she's going through inside of herself. But if you stick around and if you're patient, right, and we're not pushing anything too fast, too forward, then, you know, I think that there's a great opportunity to have a connection that is, you know, genuine. So Jakari, I hope that's helpful for you. I really appreciate your subscribe yesterday. Donations are always helpful. I really appreciate it, but not necessary. And I really appreciate you stopping by again. And you're welcome back anytime for a reading, anytime I do them. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful for you, Jakari. Sometimes, you know, relationships often bring out areas that we need for our greatest development. But if we attend to them and make that a priority, and we're passionate about those aspects, then often the things that we're desiring just kind of manifest as an acknowledgement of our clarity, right? You're welcome, Jakari. Well, if you want family, you know, I really think that, you know, if you're just take it slow with her, really inquire on what she's going through in her spiritual path right now, and communicate to her, maybe subtly, you know, your future dreams. I think it could be a really beautiful thing. So good luck between you and Mackenzie. And I'm sorry, was she a Gemini? Is that what we talked about? Again, if she is a Gemini, Venus is going retrograde in Gemini next week for the next 6 weeks. So it's a great time to just don't put too much pressure on the situation. She's going to be kind of all over the place with her feelings. And tomorrow's a Scorpio full moon. The energy's already accelerated. So it's a great time to just keep it slow, be sensitive, be curious, right? Get to know her. All right. Take care, Jakari. Thank you. Stephanie, I'm stuck in a depression, hoping to find answers or possibilities, relationship answers as well. Well, I know that feeling. I consider myself an extremely optimistic person. The basis of my work is creating a more spirited life, right? So instead of focusing on religion and dogmas and beliefs, I've kind of just chosen to focus on the things that are most important to me, which is actually creating a spirited life, right? And the things I've discovered is really simple. It's eating well, taking care of yourself, making sure you exercise, making sure you take salt baths and clear your energy and relax, or get a massage, or whatever it takes to create harmonious relationships, learning to speak from our feelings instead of evaluations, recognizing that relationships are gifts, right? That nobody owes us anything, right? So these are all things that are going to free us from these appetites for grasping, right? And put us in a state of gratitude. And I don't mean that in some spiritual hippy-dippy bullshit way. I mean truly having gratitude, knowing that everything that comes to us is a gift, and having an appreciation for that, and learning how to live peacefully with or without something, right? That we've created our own foundation. So even though that's my work, you know, I feel sad sometimes also, and we can't feel good all the time. My spiritual teacher said, you know, depression is a biologically induced meditation, is what he calls it. You know, it's our body telling us to slow down so we can listen deeper to what we're really feeling and what our needs really are. You know, so take it. Don't see it as such a negative. You know, kind of shadow points the way to where the sun will rise again, right? So just keep that in mind. Let me go ahead and mix up your cards here. Thank you for the question. I'm sorry you're not feeling super duper right now. It is an interesting time in the world, isn't it? Lots of changes, and sometimes when we have good changes, things have to kind of be uprooted a little bit, so to say, right? So it can be kind of confusing. I don't know if you ever had a major Pluto transit before, but if you've had a major Pluto transit in your ascendant or in your sun sign, Pluto tends to kind of fracture people like a plate. And it'll break you into a million pieces, and you kind of feel like you're floating around and you don't really have an identity. And then over a long period of time, because Pluto moves so slowly, it slowly brings you back together in a new form. And you start to feel more whole again. And then it really reinvigorates you with new life and new direction. You may not feel the same but you feel fresh and new. And what a gift that is, so we don't have to keep continually experiencing the same monotony, right? So, but during that process of transformation, it can feel very, very uncomfortable, you know, because you don't know who you are, right? The things that we used to identify with really aren't there anymore, you know? So anyway, let's get your cards going here, Stephanie. I do tarot for spiritual growth. I always tell people ahead of time, I'm just the messenger. I'm going to read what I see. If there's something for you in it, you'll know. I don't know you, so I'm just reading the cards. But often it's not always what we want, it's what we need and what's going to be the most helpful to accelerate our path, right? Which, I don't know, who wouldn't want that, right? So are you okay with that, Stephanie? A reading for spiritual growth? And then we have wonderful Daisy here. Thank you for stopping by. I swear someday I'll get my robot figured out. I have this, it's a robot that like manages my chat. It manages, you know, who's in line and all that stuff. And it's just revolted. I've looked online. No love yet. Anyway, I do have a goal of trying to get 50 subscribers. I'm getting close. I think I'm around 43 or something like that. So if anyone hasn't subscribed, I really appreciate it. If not, don't worry about it. But if you're feeling it, it's there. Any donation of any amount, it could be a quarter, will get you a full 10-card Celtic Cross reading. So we can always expand that at any time. Just let me know. No problem either way. I'm here to support. Okay, so we have Stephanie. She's looking to get some kind of lubrication to move through this energy she's in right now. Some sort of inspiration. And let's see what the cards say. Stephanie, I'm going to ask you, would you like deck number 1, 2, or 3? And then we'll go ahead and start your reading. We'll do a 3-card reading for you. 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to switch over here if I could figure out where it's at. There it is. I got about a 20-second delay here. So there might be a lull of silence after you answer. We'll get going in the reading. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, or 3. Here, you know what I'll do, Stephanie, for you while I'm waiting for your answer, which you probably already gave, is we did an Edgar Casey card earlier. We pulled an Edgar Casey card, and his message was, Jakari helped me pick it. His message was, may thy light so shine that others seeing thy good work may take hope again. So I take that, you know, to read, you know, shine bright to inspire others to find hope in their own lives. And that's the message for the evening. That's a message for this full moon in Scorpio that's happening tomorrow. 2, please. You got it. So we'll do deck number 2 for Stephanie, and let's see what's going on. Okay, nature of the reading. We have the 3 of Wands in reverse. Let's see what's influencing this. Okay, and let's pull. We'll do a 4-card reading for you. Do the Star, do the Lovers. Okay, so a lot of reverse cards here. 3 of Wands, this is kind of where you're at right now, right? So the 3 of Wands, this is your current position. 3 of Wands is, you're kind of preparing for something. When it's upright, you're kind of preparing for something. When it's down, it's just feeling like there's some kinds of obstacles to your long-term goals, delays. You know, you want to move forward, you want to make plans, but for some reason they're not moving forward, right? So what's influencing this is the Fool. And the Fool is the very first card. It doesn't even have a number. It's 0, right? And the Fool, if you look at this card, it's a very interesting card. The Fool is symbolic of the spirit first incarnating into the material realms and their level of optimism they have, right? And they're so optimistic because from the spiritual realms, they feel like they're totally safe and totally at peace. They've got the sun at their back. They've got their bag of resources with them, right? And they're about to walk off a cliff, right? So, and there's this little dog who's like, yo, man, there's a cliff right there, but your head's so high up in the sunlight or in the sky that we're not seeing the danger right before us, right? So the symbology here is a new soul. It's innocence, right? It's new beginnings, spontaneity, free spirit. It's an innocence that's not polluted by, challenging situations or adulthood or something like that. Hey, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I really wish I could pronounce your name. Joe? Gabriel? Can I call you Gabriel? Is that okay? Thanks for stopping by, Gabriel. I'm going to giving Stephanie a reading right now. And then we're going to do Daisy, and you're more than welcome to get a reading. I do 3-card readings, complimentary. If you want a 10-card full Celtic Cross, any donation amount will expand your reading. Thanks for stopping by. So what's influencing this is there's this new level of innocence and spirit in you that wants to start a new journey, right? This is the soul coming in, wanting to start a new journey. So you're feeling kind of excited, right, about wanting to move forward. But you feel kind of stagnant. It's like you're ready to go, but no one's showing up to pick you up, right? That kind of energy, right? So you're feeling a little stagnant, and that makes you feel a little depressed. You're excited about moving forward. Now let's look in the past. In the past, we have the Star in reverse. The Star is a major arcana card, so that signifies a major shift in your life, something that is significant, and so is the Fool. That's a major arcana card. So the Star in reverse is a little bit of discouragement, working on your faith. Just you've lost that spark, so to say, and faith, right? And the belief that things are going to work out in your favor, which is okay. I've gone through it myself. It's challenging to continually redefine that and refine that. Now, often when that goes away, it's, to be honest with you, this is about practical spirituality, right? A lot of this is we lose our spontaneity, right? And because in a modern society, so much, it really boils down to this. It's really simple, okay? Is we have to work so hard for our most basic resources to be met. We have a society that is based on an intellectual way of working with things. We have a lot of ideas and concepts. And what happens is we start to lose touch with experiential reality, and instead we get kind of lost in these ideas and concepts, right? So we lose presence, right? And when we lose presence, we kind of get caught up in this cage of ideas and thoughts, right? So this is an invitation to get back in touch with that childlike nature. And one of the quickest ways to do this is to get out of our heads. How do we get out of our heads? We move our bodies. We can do guided meditations. We can spend more time with children. We can really work our bodies out. We can really, really work our bodies and get in touch with our bodies. So anyway, there's wonderful resources online for guided meditations, things like that. But it's just kind of like, the mind is a great tool, but it's not a replacement for experiential reality, right? Or intuitive or sensational reality, right? So, again, you may even want to find someone to explore your body with. I don't mean, I mean that in the most positive and wholesome way. It's you want to get back in touch with the sensual nature of life, and whatever that takes, candles, bath time, salts, finding a partner to explore your body with, that kind of stuff. So you want to get into that space to reignite that part of you, right? So instead of sitting around thinking about it, you're actually outside rolling in the grass. You pick a peach off the tree and you're smelling it. You know what I mean? That you're getting back into the sensational reality, right? So there's your message there. Now, coming up in the future is you have the Lovers in reverse. So let's get a little more in touch with the spiritual realms here. The Lovers is another major arcana card, and the Lovers in reverse is. I can see that. Dude, what sign are you, Stephanie? Are you what's your sun sign? What's your moon sign? What's your rising sign? Do you know what your signs are? I'm curious because it seems like you're having some sort of Plutonic or Saturnian lessons going on here. Anyway, while it takes time for the video to upload, which is about 20 seconds off here, I'll continue, but just let me know if you can tell me what your sun or your rising sign is. There's another spiritual lesson here coming up in the future, right? And I think that this is going to be you kind of have to get this stuff out of the way to move forward, right? So just stick with me here. A lot of tarot readers will tell you what you want to hear, but I want to tell you what's going to help you the most. I want to be helpful here for you. The Lovers in reverse is a misalignment of values, right? So it doesn't matter if it's lovers or if it's a business partner or if it's your parents or if it's a friendship. It all works the same way, right? We have to have... Oh, you're not sure? Oh, it's Sagittarius. Okay. Sag. Well, you're a fun-loving person. You need to go have fun. You really do. You shouldn't be sitting around thinking about stuff. You need to be having fun. You're a Sagittarius. The lesson here is the misalignment of values is if somebody doesn't share your value system, it's not going to work, period. It doesn't matter what situation it is, okay? And a lot of people might say that's not true. I'd bet on it a million times over. So there's a wonderful lesson here in discovering your own values first, right? Because you have to know your values to see if there's an alignment with someone else, right? So I do brand identity as a professional career, and a part of how you build identity is, first of all, so we're not floating around and feeling amorphous about our lives, right? Is first we have to list our values, right? So pick 3 to 5 values, right? So for me, it's unconditional love, it's nonviolence, and then honesty. So those are probably my top 3, right? And then once I'm aware of those and conscious of those, and maybe I'll write them on a piece of paper or something, is I live those no matter what situation I'm in. If I'm in a situation where it's convenient for me not to be honest because some girl's hot, and I want to hook up with her, that's not really living my values. And why that's important is that when you live consistent values, then you build character. Character is how those values are enacted, right? And when you build consistent character, not only do you have a more solid foundation that you're working from and you know who you are, but other people know who you are, and people come to rely on you and trust you, right? So that's the basis of character, is just getting those values written down. Now you need that not just for building your character and your identity so you feel stable as a spiritual being with an ego on the planet, but you also need that so you can see if your values line up with other people. Now you can always figure out where things are going to go based on identifying people's values, and you can do that in a few different ways. You can just watch them, see what they talk about. Are they gossipy? Do they talk about violence? Do they talk bad about people? Are they honest about things? Do they joke about lying about things? Whatever that might be. And when you identify the fruits of their labors, what actions they've created and the consequences of those actions, then you can see your future with them, right? And so it's really important to have that kind of foresight and forethought, because before we really deeply invest in someone, whether it's a romantic partner or any kind of relationship, is we need to know that those values are aligned, right? So this is what this card's about. I know that's a long-winded explanation, but it's really getting in touch with your values so you're not kind of floating around and feeling amorphous, right? I value these 3 things. It doesn't matter if someone's sitting there with a gun in my head. I'm going to stick to those because that's who I am and that's what I believe in. That's my convictions. That's my identity as a person. And then learn to see that in others. So I would say this card being in this placement here is that you have the opportunity to explore that with a possible romantic partner. So you may have somebody come up and show up in your life where you're going to have to take the time to evaluate their values and your values and see if they're in alignment. If they're not, it just won't work. I mean, I really truly believe that. So anyway, be mindful in that process. Now I'll give you a couple clarifiers here because I know this is kind of a lot. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, so you got the Two of Wands, looking out to the world, planning the future. There you go. Card of Home and Family. There you go. Just like you just said. So that's coming up in the future, but you're going to have to first look out into the world. You're going to have to kind of evaluate the situation, but it's coming for you. As far as what it's going to take for you to move forward, let's pull a card for that. Page of Pentacles. It's money, career. So, whatever that is, I would focus on. Hey, Lavender Seas, how are you? Absolutely, absolutely. We have daisies, and then we have our friend who I'm calling Gabriel, if that's okay, just because I don't know how to pronounce his first name. And then we'll get to you, and this is supposed to be 3-card readings, but I just want to make sure everyone's kind of taken care of here. So anyway, your message to move forward right now is the Page of Pentacles. This is somebody who's learning to really become the master of their own resources and moving forward in their life, in their materiality, and really creating a foundation for themselves in the material world, right? So maybe you're well versed in the emotional and the spiritual, but just kind of transforming all that. I think you're going to feel less anxious when you have, whether it's financial resources or just your inner resources really dialed in, right? So taking care of yourself, like I said, and then focusing on career. I mean, that's your message right there. So hopefully, Stephanie, that's something useful for you and helpful for you. I would really just write down your values. Learn to take the time to kind of really watch people first before you jump into anything with anyone. Compare your value systems, and then really take the time to, just get super ultra boringly practical about creating a foundation for yourself materially, because that's going to bring you a lot of peace mentally. So there's your message, and I hope that it's good for you. I always appreciate a subscribe, a donation, anything you guys can to support, but nothing's required. I'm so grateful that you're here. Miss Daisy, how are you? Are you still here? Oh, there she is. I'm talking with a friend named Golden, who is very funny and has been through experiences. I was wondering what the future would be like with him. Oh, that's a great question. We can definitely ask the cards that question. Okay, so it's kind of Joan. Did I say it right? I'm trying. I get people from all over the world. I get people from India. I'm just embarrassing myself left and right. Oh, thank you very much, Stephanie. I appreciate the subscribe. I'm Rick James. Come to daddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for the subscribe. That was actually the first time I got to test my alert. That was fun. I try to make them fun, right? Isn't the goal to live a more spirited life? I've studied philosophy and religion my entire life. I could tell you about every religion, every belief story, every creation story, every foundation, the origins, all of it. And what I've discovered after all of it is it's best to just speak to people on a level of goodness, right? What are we doing to create goodness? Give me some practical advice. I don't need to know about stuff that's, rainbows and crystals and all this stuff. I mean, they're all great. I'm not discounting it, but what about brushing my teeth? You know what I mean? I need to get some new pants for work. I kind of think we're on that level. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk on that level. Let's get our our bootstraps pulled up here. Let's learn how to work and create good relationships with each other, right? Let's learn how to speak from our feelings instead of our evaluations. Evaluations are violent. We don't want to tell people they're good or bad. We want to tell them that we're either sad or happy, right? And then we can actually start working together because there's not conflict, right? So we want to move forward in goodness. Okay, so Miss Daisy is curious. What would it be like between her and Golden? Looks like she's really looking at her opportunities. I had a reading last night. That was the worst. Well, actually, I do about 3 of those bad shuffles a night. I never claimed to be a master shuffler. Don't hold it against me. I guess I should probably look at the cards while I'm shuffling them. Had a reading yesterday. Fine woman named Anastasia, and I got her reading was basically saying what you're doing. Go out there, explore, kind of like consider different options, and play out the fantasy, right? So Daisy, I think it's a wonderful question to ask. How would it be to be with Golden? I'm curious. I want to know. How would it be if Daisy was with Golden? Do I get to come hang out or what? Okay, anywho. All right, let's check this out. Okay, now Daisy, I'm going to give you the challenge of picking a card between a pile, 1, 2, or 3. You let me know what you would like. I'm going to mix these up just a little bit more. And you can be the controller of your destiny. Daisy, is it 1, 2, or 3? 1, 2, or 3? Thank you, Stephanie. I'm getting really close to my goal. I want to get up to 50. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it tonight, but I really appreciate that. It's one more step in the right direction. 1. Daisy would like 1. I think she wants 1 because it rhymes with fun. And I think Daisy's are ready to check this out. All right, Daisy, let's see what we got. Ooh. Oh, all sorts of possibilities. Is it a fantasy? Is it going to bite me? Is it going to love me? What's happening there? What's influencing this? Let's see what's going on in the spiritual realms. You are the master. You have all the tools, right? I'm just going to pull. I'm going to pull an extra couple cards for you here, Daisy. So there we go. So let's see what's happening here. Somebody's learning how to play well mentally, right? Plays well with friends, kind of thing, So, at the nature of the reading, this is, to me, the most interesting card of the tarot, and this is the 7 of Cups. Now, this is not a major arcana card, so this does not signify any kind of huge life-changing thing, which can be good or bad depending on how you see it, right? 7 of Cups is indicative of possibilities, and possibilities that we kind of imagine in our mind, and which may or may not be true, right? So 7 of Cups is, it can be in a state of fantasy or illusion, thinking too much, wishful thinking. It's kind of like when our imagination. I guess here, let's put it this way. The term curb your enthusiasm, right? It kind of grounds you and keeps you to earth. So the message here is to just stay grounded. So I'll let you figure out what that means, but that's very clearly, it's just to make sure you stay grounded in looking at the situation. Or this can be indicative of that, for instance, your guys' Neptunes in your charts might be aspected where you guys create a real amazing fantasy reality together, which is wonderful. I've had partners like that. You can just lay around in bed and you go on journeys together, right? You just... Your levels of creativity and imaginations like spark each other's, and it's just fun. It may not be real, right? But it's fun, right? So you guys might have an amazing fantasy kind of world together. Now, the thing is, fantasies is we just want to make sure we can live with the consequences, right? So we just need to make sure that everything stays in its proper place. Disneyland is a wonderful place to visit. Well, I'll leave it at that, right? Okay, what's influencing this? Why? What is this all about? What is this fantasy all about? And we have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 is almost complete. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse position can be somebody who's kind of bogged down by the ways of the world, right? Financial stuff, work, overinvestment in work. Somebody who's just kind of like burnt out on the mundane, right? So I don't know if this is you or him together. The question was you together, right? So I could see this relationship being escapist, I guess is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that's bad. Escapist is not bad, right? So it's just being aware of the situation, right? If you know what you're working with, you can do anything, right? As long as you understand what you're dealing with, right? you can go out and party with your friends and do all that stuff, as long as you know that your drink limit is 3 drinks and someone else is driving, and this is the plan, right? I'm not babysitting at 6 in the morning the next day, right? So it's that kind of thing. It's if you guys are both aware and grounded, that's really wonderful. Now, in the spiritual realms, I pulled a couple extra cards here for you. In the spiritual realms, you have the Magician, right? So this would give me a positive indication that you have everything you need to make this work. You have the Magician has all the tools. See, he's got the cup, he's got the pentacles, he's got the swords, he's got the wand, and he's got the infinity symbol over his head. So he's infinitely power, and he knows that when he's in touch with God's will and his own will is in alignment, that everything will be good, right? So as long as this relationship is spiritualized, right, that you're in balance, looking out for the well-being of him and yourself, I think you guys have wonderful fantasies together, wonderful experiences together. In the past, you guys have been really honing your skills, so to say. So from a relationship level, this could be a really wonderful thing, showing that you have 2 people showing up who are both wise, who have the wisdom, and are very mature. So that's wonderful. Now, this is an interesting placement for the 5 of Swords. The just 5s in general aren't always the most harmonious of flavors. So 5 of Swords in reverse, this is learning how to play well together in the mind, right? So here you have this rich fantasy reality. Well, whatever this is, it's a process of refining your relationship and how you connect with other people. So, you want to spiritualize any sort of fantasy reality you have, I think is the strongest spiritual guidance I can give you in regards to these cards. You want to make sure you're mindful. You don't want to go on these journeys and start talking down about people or gossipy, or something like that, Low-key Christian, he's Catholic. Well, I consider myself extremely Christian, but it's a private practice, and I read my own books, and I keep it to myself, and I love everyone, no matter who they are. So I'm not sure what your dynamic is. Catholic and Christian, interesting dynamics, interesting history. I study religious history. Christians are by the book, and Catholics wanted to keep the book, so a little bit different dynamics there. But ultimately, it is still in the spirit of Christ, which is unconditional love. So, like I said, make it about unconditional love, make the goodness between everyone, and always honor everyone in this process. And I think you guys can have a lot of fun. So anyway, that's your message for the night, Daisy. I hope that's helpful for you. Like I said, I always appreciate a subscribe or donation. It's always very helpful, but nothing is necessary. I really appreciate you stopping by, and I hope that's helpful. I think you guys could have a lot of fun. You just don't take it too far, so to say, right? Be mindful. I think you guys would be, why not? And with Gemini and Venus, it's a great time to have fun. It may not last after the end of June, right? So anyway, I hope that's helpful for you, Daisy. And I'm sending you lots of love. We get into ideas and dogmas and philosophies about life. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're all human. And we just want to afford a lot of grace and gratitude for everyone in our lives. And hey, Alexa, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so guys, at any time, if I'm not keeping track here, because usually our robot keeps track, is I believe it's our friend John. I know I'm not pronouncing it right. Gabriel, I believe he's next. Is that correct? And then Lavender. Is that sounds correct, right? Yeah, I believe that's correct. Okay, so Johan. Oh no. Oh, we're all just trying to communicate as best we can. That sounds good. I am so charismatic. Well, I found who I really am after a lifetime of, doing things. I like branding and graphic design and all that stuff, but being helpful I see so much suffering in the world, right? And then I was really fortunate to have some really wonderful spiritual teachings when I was younger. And then I see people suffering, and I'm like, oh, well, that's easy to solve. You just do this, And so to use tarot and astrology as an opportunity to share that has been such a wonderful gift. And it's only possible, for you, with you guys participating. And I really appreciate it. And it's taken me a lot of courage to do this. And thank you so much. That's all I can say. And charismatic, absolutely. I believe in living a spirited life. Which doesn't mean bypassing your sadness, but that we find goodness and have a good attitude towards trying to make things better, because I've lived my life frankly in really dark places and sad, and I don't want to do that. I want to be an example. I only have so many years on this planet to shine, and I'd love to give any hope we can to anyone, especially in these days. So John Gabriel, I'm sorry, what's your question, man? What are you going through? Did you already ask? It's okay to comment. Let's see. So, you clarified your name. I'm sorry. Did you already ask a question here? I'm from Brazil, and I'm starting a scientific research. Okay, here we go. I would like to know what the letters think of dedicating my life to being a university professor in my field. What the letters think of dedicating my life? Would you clarify that just a little bit? I'm from Brazil, and I'm starting a scientific research. I would like to know what the letters think of dedicating... I don't know what you mean when you say letters. If that's just a lost in translation, if you could just clarify that a little bit. What the letters think of dedicating my life to being a university professor in my field. If you clarify that a little bit... Okay, there we go. I want to know what the cards suggest of dedicating my life to become a university professor in my field. Oh, okay, so just kind of a general overview of kind of like what's in store, what's this about for you. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem at all. So I do do Astro-Tarot for spiritual growth. Do you know your sun sign? Do you know your astrology sign? Even better, your ascendant or rising sign? If you don't, it's okay. Just curious. Just gives me context. So you just like to see. So like I said, I do these readings for spiritual growth. So I just read the cards, I see what I see, and I say exactly what it is. So, but often it's kind of what will best serve your soul growth and the souls around you. Not necessarily, what we're going to get or, all that kind of stuff. So if you're okay with that, then I'll move forward. I always want to ask first, because sometimes the messages can be, some work, so to say, All right, so let's see what's going on. Virgo ascendant. Okay, so you're a Virgo with a Sagittarius ascendant. Okay, got it. Well, Virgos have gone through deep transformations over the last 7 years, and for a long period of time. So Virgos are really just starting to come into their mastery, right? Just starting to come into who they really are, so to say, right? So I would say that's a pretty good thing for you. Now let's see. University professor in my field. What is going on being a university professor in the field? So I do a 3-card reading, complimentary. If you want to upgrade, just any donation amount, I'll give you a 10-card reading anytime. So just interesting. I just shuffled the card like 20 times, and look at it, I just got one of the same cards I just had in the last reading. So Lovers in Reverse. This is about values, right? So I would say that immediately, right off the gate, is that say, here's an example, right? So I got into graphic design when I was really young, but I didn't realize until 10 years into it that really what I wanted to be was an artist, right? So I had conflict because here I am doing commercial work, right? Just kind of machine-like work. And I was finding myself really frustrated and unfulfilled, not recognizing why, right? And then what I realized is that I got into a field thinking it was one thing and not really being clear about it, realizing that the people around me and the things that were doing and the things were expected of me weren't necessarily why I really wanted to be there, right? So with the Lovers upside down, it's not so much about lovers, it's about values, right? So this is about making sure the things that you value and that where you're heading in this career profession are aligned, right? So sometimes that can just be simply modifying are majors. It can be modifying or just spending a little extra time ahead of time by going to visit somebody who's already doing this, right? And really get the inside scoop from them. It can save you a lot of heartache and headaches, and just really wanting to understand. It's important to know what you're getting yourself into is the core of this message, okay? It's not good or bad, but let's see the rest of the cards here, okay? Now, I will see what's influencing us here, right? It's about prosperity, right? Let's see the recent past, and then let's see the future here, okay? Okay, so in regards to a career, okay, let's look here. So what's influencing this is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is all about building resources, right? So, you know, to me, there's a certain level of what's motivating the situation that has to do with resources and financial resources. But as you get older, you'll flip the script, and it'll be more about how it's making you feel and how it's affecting your life. So if you can be mindful of that ahead of time, like I said, by showing up, really seeing what you're getting into, asking the people who've been doing it for a long time, hey, you know, what do you like most about this, and what did you find most challenging about this? It can give you a lot of insight into what you're actually getting yourself into. What's kind of preceding this is the High Priestess. And this is somebody who's very intuitive. The High Priestess is higher powers, mystery, the subconscious mind. So what I take out of this is that you're being driven to this type of work kind of almost unconsciously. There's something that you need to fulfill. There's something that you need to do. So I would say that you probably have some level of karmic destiny to do this kind of work. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Alexa. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just kind of. I've been doing this for a couple years, but I've taken it more serious in the last couple months. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm just being committed to showing up and continually doing this. And if you guys could help me keep the order of who's next and all that stuff, and I believe it's Lavender, and then Alexa, if I'm not mistaken. If we're all on the same page there, then we're good to go. So anyway, and then there's a karmic. This is a karmic destiny. You're like blindly walking into this saying like, I don't even know why I'm here, but I just got to do it, right? So again, talk to the people who've been doing it for a while. Make sure you're clear about what you're getting yourself into. Okay. In the future, here we have the card of kind of coming out of heartache when it's in relation to relationships, right? And the swords represent the mind, right? So in this situation, the Three of Swords in reverse is releasing pain. It's a level of optimism and forgiveness. So, you know, I would say that in general, whatever this process is that you're karmically attracted to will be a very liberating thing for you in the long run. So I'd see a lot of positive things here. The only thing that you need to be aware of is, again, making sure your values are aligned with other people's values. You may find difficulty if you find yourself around people like, say, like you're not into like animal experimentation or something, and then you walk into a room and they're sitting there cutting a rabbit open, right? So that's just an extreme example, but you might get stuck and like, oh shit, why am I here? How did I get in this situation if the values aren't super clear? And so the message I'm getting is you might want to just tune your focus a little bit, right? That there may be a possibility of there might be a slight adjustment of how you step into this, right? So anyway, Joan, that's your message. This is a destined path for you. Be patient, be really clear about what you're stepping into, and it should be very liberating and freeing for you. And I hope that was helpful for you. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for coming in all the way from Brazil. Very kind of you. Thanks for everyone stopping by. It really was wonderful to have everybody visiting. My goal is to get my subscriber up to 50. Anyone who could help, that'd be great. Awesome, getting close. Anyway, hopefully that was helpful for you. And we have the beautiful Lavender Seas coming in. Thank you for being patient and waiting around. It's an international relation research. I'm studying international space agreements. Wow. Well, you know, just like artificial intelligence, right? It's only as good as the information that goes into it, right? So when you're setting up that kind of research and kind of paving the way for that kind of future, it's really important that that work is done with the utmost mindfulness for the equality of all, right? Because like Plato said, the root of violence is inequity or a lack of equal worthiness, right? So we want to make sure that we're all taken care of. Yay, thank you, Lavender. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. 3-card reading will get you, we'll do it complimentary. If for any reason you want to do a 10-card full spread, any donation amount will get you that. No pressure, don't need it, but if you're inspired and you want to go there, I just want you to know anytime you can do that. Let's see what's going on with Lavender. Lavender Seas, what a beautiful visual. I'm just taking the time to think about that. It's almost like this this light behind me, right? Trying to make it feel like it's nighttime and we're hanging out and we're chilling, right? And by the way, this is all my original music in the background. Some of it's a little weird, but I play all my own music, so hopefully you like it. Hey, Papu! Thanks for stopping by. My robot went on strike, so the join command will not put you in the queue, but we're doing a great job as a team here, as a group, making sure everyone's taken care of. So, we're going to give a reading to the beautiful Lavender Seas, and I need to scroll back here and see what her question is. She says, who is coming to me in love? Deeds about my man. That's my question. Now, I'm just at that age where I'm kind of outside of the lingo of popular culture, but I'm going to go and say that means details about my man. I say that kind of jokingly, of course it is. So deeds about the man. Let's see. Lavender Seas wants to know who's sailing in to hang out on her waters. Personality. Who is coming? You want to know what kind of personality? Okay, I got message retracted here. She's rethinking. She's re-strategizing. Papu, thanks for hanging out. I think, what do we have here? Is it just, I think it's just Lavender, right? Or is that, did I miss someone? I feel horrible if I did. No, I think we got everyone here. Okay, we got everyone here. So Papu, you'd be next. So if you want to think about your question. And Lavender, I'm sorry, did you already tell me your astrology sign? Do you know what your astrology sign is? Do you know what your sun sign is? Do you know what your... let's see. No, we have another one. We have it. Alexia. Are you here? You didn't get lost in the shuffle, did you? Alexia. Alright, we're going to get Alexia taken care of too. Okay, alright, so since there's such a long delay between, it's like 20-second delay, why don't you go ahead and how he is as a person. Alright, well that's specific, and we'll hook you up with that. I'll tell you what the cards see. And you're an Aries. Well, of course you're an Aries. You want to know exactly how it works. Aries Sun, Taurus. Aries Sun, Taurus Rising. I wouldn't mess with you. If I saw you in a dark alley, I'd cut. I wouldn't stick around for a second. An opportunity coming this year. I'm assuming Alexia is asking about love. Is that what it is, Alexia? Spill the beans. Give me the deets. Is it about love? You talking about a job opportunity, or what are you talking about? All right, Lavender's not messing around. She's got the fire of the goat, and she's got the dedication and steadfastness of the bull. I wouldn't mess with her. Don't get that bull. Man, that bull must get fiery. Wow. Lavender Seas. Curious what your moon sign is. Now that I saw your sun and your rising. What is your moon sign? All right, what's going on? Let's see what's going on. Okay, so Lavender, why don't you go ahead and pick your deck 1, 2, or 3 ahead of time here while I'm shuffling. And hopefully I'm not boring the hell out of you guys here. Ooh, Alexia is a Leo Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Virgo and Venus. Oh my god. Holy bananas. Alexia, is anyone satisfy you? Aries Sun, Taurus Rising, Aries Mercury. Oh my gosh. I'm ready to kick some ass. Aries Moon. Oh my god. I don't know what to say, Lavender. I don't know what to say. Are you sure you're not like just like dating men and then just like eating them alive and hiding them in your closet? You need a fiery dude to handle that business. Or someone with a lot of air that can fuel you. Alright. Alright, so so you're gonna go for 3. I'm kind of delaying here. I do like to talk astrology also, so I'm gonna get into it. Okay, Lavender Seas. Lavender Seas. Okay, now Lavender Seas, before we get into this, I'm gonna say this. As an Aries, let's go over your top 3 connections as far as romantic relationships, okay? As a... Wait, Aries, right? Or are you just Aries everything else? What was your sun sign? Aries Sun, yeah, okay. So Aries Sun, Taurus Rising. Okay, so as an Aries, your #1 top compatible sign... Let me move some of this stuff over here. Your #1 top compatible sign as an Aries is Sagittarius. Sagittarius with an Aries is harmonious. You have great sexual chemistry. And but there's a little bit of a low commitment. So what I would look for is, what do you have the best sexual chemistry with, but without the low commitment issue, right? And that's going to be Leo. So there you go. You ever dated a Leo? Venus and Aquarius. Oh, man, you just love everyone, don't you? You're just rambunctious. It's got all the zing and zest in the world, right? And we got Alexia over here. She's a Leo. You guys could date. What do you need? Leo. 97% compatibility between a Leo and an Aries. So anyway, keep that in mind. Alexia, you have a Scorpio rising, and we have a Scorpio full moon, so the way people see you might be kind of emotional right now, next couple of days. Alright, so I am going to get there eventually. We're getting to the card reading. Alright, enough of me yapping. Let's get to the tarot reading, right? Okay, so your card, you're going to love this one. Look at that one. Boom. Family, home, 10 cups. 10 is completion. All the cups are full. Cups are emotional connections. You got dad and mom. You got kids dancing. Shit, who doesn't want 2 kids dancing around like that? You're having a jolly old time. The rainbow's there. I mean, what's missing here, right? I don't know. I don't see anything missing. Lavender is ready to party. Now, Lavender, in the past, there might have been some sort of jealousy or some kind of... let's see. Let's look into this here. So if it was cups, it's more jealousy. Queen of Swords in reverse is more about... I mean, can I just be honest? Being kind of bitchy or cold-hearted. You know, that's what this card means in reverse. And sorry, I didn't sugarcoat it. But this is the past, so it's like, this is like, maybe you were like super young and hot or something like that, or you got all you wanted or something, or all that. But you're transmuting that, right? That kind of energy into like family, right? You're like, I actually want to go from being the baddest bitch on the block to, you know, actually making it about a real good connection. Hey, I just call the cards how I see them, so, you know, don't shoot the messenger, right? So anyway, I think you were a badass. I think you probably still are a badass, but you're transforming this badassness into this beautiful dynamic. And what a great jump, you know? That's where you want to go. You don't want to be here and then get older and just be like, wow, I never really took the time to care about someone else. Upcoming future, I mean, if you're looking at the kind of personality here, you know, this is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Nine of Pentacles in reverse is this is the guy right here. This is the energy. A knight is strapping man showing up. You know, look, he's kind of in his black limo here, right? He's in his Maybach, ready to roll. He's got the pentacle. They tend to be kind of fast-paced. They're ready to make it happen, so to say, right? Kind of a young buck. A Knight of Pentacles in reverse. This is somebody who's might be a little stuck. You know, they're not really sure how to move forward. But they could be handsome, and like I said, they could have plenty financially, but just feeling a little stuck themselves. So we can expand on this. Your question was, what's this personality type? Well, it's wonderful. He's an innocent person. He's somebody, even though he might be stuck, feeling stuck a little bit, you two together evoke each other, a sense of innocence with each other, right? And this card, to me, you know, a lot of people see the Lover's card or the Two of Cups, and they say, oh, that's the ultimate love card. I'm like, no, that's not the ultimate love card. The Six of Cups is the ultimate love card. It's two children who are honest and sensitive and kind and willing to be honest with each other, right? You know, these days, people play so many games, but these are two children, and the girl walks by the boy, and she says, hey, I like you, you know? Can I hold your hand, right? It's that sweet. It's that innocent. And he says, hey, that hurt my feelings, or no, don't kiss me. I don't like that. You know, they're honest, right? And to be able to achieve that level of sweetness and honesty as an adult is a wonderful gift, right? So, you know, he might be a little lost, but he might have some cash. He might be rolling in hard. He's just looking for something, doesn't know what it is. You might be what he's looking for physically, but you know, you guys might surprise each other that ultimately you guys are super softies inside, you know? So I have no idea if that resonates with you at all, but Aquarius and Venus, I mean, God, you love everyone. How hard, it must be hard for you to settle down, right? Oh my gosh. So you love everyone, and then Alexia's over here. She doesn't love anyone. She's got her Venus in Virgo. Alexia's just like, oh, it's not good enough. Oh, close, not good enough. Close, not good enough. And then if you finally meet somebody who shares your Venus in Virgo, you guys probably just bug each other, right? So, Alexia, oh my God. Yeah, actually, you know what's funny, Alexia? You're a Leo sun and a Venus in Virgo. I worked with someone. I don't know if you know who Daniel Ash is. He was the guitar player for a band called Bauhaus that was real popular in the 80s. I produced one of his records. He's a Leo sun with his Venus in Virgo. And he's so picky. Oh my God, so picky. You probably had some hot-ass dudes, I'll tell you that much, right? Everyone loves me, and I rejected and friend-zoned me. And I rejected, or they rejected? Damn, everyone loves me, and I rejected and friend-zoned me. I'm sorry, you have to clarify that a little bit. You got put in the friend zone, or you put them in the friend zone? Tell me about it, girl. Yeah, I mean, your situation's this, man. You're probably really connected with a lot of energy going around. Dude, you're gonna get some dude who's like baller player vibe, and then you guys are gonna just realize that neither one of you are as tough on the outside as you really are, you know. And I think there's a lot of sensitivity and sweetness here, and why not, man? Play with it. Keep it spiritual though, man. Keep it spiritualized, you know. You don't want to fuck around with people's energies. Anyway, it's pretty clear to me you guys are like little teddy bears, you little Care Bears in bed together. That's the vibe. Look for some dude rolling up who's like got some panache and some playa vibes, and who might just feel a little lost and aloof, and you can give him purpose by you know, connecting on a deep emotional level. So get your Care Bears out and be sweet with each other. Lavender, I hope that helps you. I hope that's meaningful for you. Miss Alexia has been so patient. Yeah, that's exactly. I can tell. I can tell you right now. This is like you're a Care Bear. You know, just give them the. If someone's front, just give them the Care Bear stare. You know, just tell them what's up. Hey man, I just read the cards, man. I have no idea your vibe, but I just tuned into it and I think I might have got it right. So, anyway, sending lots of love, Lavender. You got the vibes. You got the power. You know, go do something with it that feels good. You know, get vulnerable, get lovey, get cuddly. Get it, girl. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the reading. I appreciate it. I always appreciate a sub. I think you already hooked me up with that. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. Donations are always super appreciated. All good either way. Sending lots of love on your journey. Have a good time. Miss Alexia, let's get it going on. Let's see what's going on with Alexia. Jody, thank you so much for stopping by. Hello to you. And I do read astrology. I tend to kind of do the astrology as kind of I look at people's signs, their sun sign, their astrology thing. I mean, sorry, their sun sign, their rising sign, their moon sign, or Venus sign, in conjunction with a 3-card tarot reading, just so I can kind of quickly get through multiple people, and then if anyone donates, I do a full 10-card spread for them, and I get a little deeper into it. But that's pretty much what I do on these the Street Level Live shows. But I can do really in-depth charts and readings and birth charts. My website is StreetLevel.Live. You can go there and go to the shop and you can purchase any of that stuff. If I'm real slow, sometimes I can pull up charts and do deeper readings. Right now I'm a little busy, but like I said, if you subscribe and turn on notifications, next time I go live, if you come in early, I'll pull up a chart for you. I usually charge for it, but I'm happy to do that. But if you would like a reading and you do know your basic signs, just let me know and I'll get you in the queue next after. Gosh, I think we have beautiful. Hey Ramesh, how are you? We have beautiful Alexia's just still waiting. And then we have Papu and Jody. If you guys could help me keep it organized, that would be wonderful. And then we have Ramesh. So, welcome Ramesh, thank you so much. Just letting people know if they want to do more than a 3-card reading, I do a full 10-card reading for any donation amount. And I also appreciate a subscribe. I'm trying to get up to 50. If anyone could help me, that'd be great. Alexia, let's get into it. You've been so patient. And if for any reason I get out of order with people here, just let me know, okay? And I think that might have to be it. Ramesh, that'll probably be the last reading for my night, just because it's getting kind of late. Alexia would like to know if she has a soulmate coming this year. And you're saying, I don't know him yet. I'm assuming that's a statement saying, I haven't met anyone. Or is that a question of, do I know him yet, to me? Now, Alexia, you're a Leo who has a Virgo Venus, correct? So you're finding a whole new direction in another bad shuffle there. In your love life is being completely reborn. Virgos are really discovering who they really are these days. It's a beautiful thing. Jody's triple water. Jody with an E. Never met anyone. Is there someone? So your question is, what's going on this year? What's the deal? Okay, now this is Tarot for Spiritual Growth, so let's see where this is going. Leos have been pretty scot-free over the last year, astrologically speaking. Virgos, yeah, not too much either. So my phone keeps sending. It's okay. Jody with an E. It's like a reading. Future love reading, please. Future love reading, please. Okay, so Alexia, why don't you go ahead and pick pile 1, 2, or 3 ahead of time while we're shuffling. It's a little bit of a delay between when I ask and when you hear it. 1, 2, or 3, Alexia. Pile 1, 2, or 3. What's it gonna be? Pile 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3 for Alexia. Here's your pile 1. Here's your pile 2. Here's your pile 3. Where are we going? You got it. Number 3. Let's see what's going on with love life for Alexia. All right. So we're kind of investing in something here, coming out of an investment. Now, are you currently coming out of a relationship? I mean, did you have a relationship in the past, or is this something where you're just starting to build this process? Because I see somebody here who's been working hard at getting ready for something, right? So I don't know if it's that you just came out of something in the last year, or this is like your first relationship ever. But this is somebody who's been working toward, you're kind of ready to go. You're kind of coming out of the preparation phase, so to say. What's influencing it is this deep desire for foundation. You're really taking it serious. You're really taking the time to look at this and saying, what can I do to prepare myself for love, to be available, to be ready? And I think this is a really beautiful thing. You're taking a lot of responsibility, saying, hey, you know, when I show up in a relationship, I want to show up ready to go. So I think this is really astute of you, so to say. Never had a relationship. So it looks to me like you've been preparing. And, you know, with preparation, it's important, right? We need preparation because we have to know what we're doing. I couldn't like just show up and do these readings if I hadn't first kind of taken the time to really learn these cards and read the deck, right? Single since birth. It's okay. I'm older, and you know that happens too. I live like in a rural area, and I can't find a date to save my life, you know. But it's just because I'm in the middle of nowhere, and I don't particularly care to hang out with cowboys very much. It's just not my thing. So anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is this: is preparation is important, right? So if I didn't know these cards, I couldn't really do anything. It wouldn't be really useful or helpful, right? But also, the majority of what I've learned wasn't from reading a book, right? It was from doing it, right? It was actually getting out, talking to people, seeing how to connect with human beings, right? It's not about the cards. The cards are just messages. They're symbols that help piece together a story, right? But I'm not going to understand that portion of it until I get out and actually start reading the cards for people. Now, the same is true with being prepared for a relationship. Here's somebody who's been working on preparing themselves for a really long time. They're motivated by creating a foundation and moving forward. But the only way you're going to really be prepared as much as you think you can be is to date, right? Is to get out there and to communicate and connect with other people, you know? Yeah, exactly. So, but it's not, you don't prepare and then just kind of wait. You prepare and then you get yourself out there in the world, right? Knowing and making the commitment to yourself that you're not going to just go rush out and jump into the first thing you get into, right? So you have to have that pre-preparation, that mindfulness to say, you know, like say for instance, like with this tarot thing I'm doing it for the next 12 months, no matter if anyone shows up, whether anyone ever hires me for a reading, whether I make a penny out of it. I'm doing it for 12 months. That's a commitment I made ahead of time. Is that because I know I have to make that commitment to see it through, right? So the same thing for you is, it's important that even though you've done the preparation, you don't just do the preparation and kind of hang out and wait. You do the preparation and then you take the steps to go get to know people, right? So you want to see the different variety of folks out there. There's lots of different kinds. Now you're a Leo, so you're going to get along, you know, really good with an Aries. Actually, I mean, it might be the best. Yeah, it's the best. Looks like the best combination. You could be with the Sagittarius also, but there's like some commitment issue there. You don't want that. Other than that, you know, kind of good with Aquarius. Gemini is another good one, and Libra. I'd say Gemini and Libra. So Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Libra tend to be good signs for you to look into. So go get to know those people with those kinds of signs. Just hang out around them, like see what kind of values they have. Now you have a Venus in Virgo, and a Venus in Virgo is very picky. It's so picky that you could live your life alone. right? So the lesson in working with that kind of energy, because as we come to the earth, we're just learning to work with different kinds of energies and balance them out, right? So your lesson, or the work that you have to do, is to learn how to not overanalyze the love and allow it to be experiential, right? So allow people to be imperfect in love, right? And work towards being honest in your feelings and your communications, and use your honesty and your feelings as a way to communicate how things make you feel, and not evaluate people, right? So that's Virgo's the evaluator, right? So anyway, you don't want to be alone your whole life. You don't want to just overanalyze the situation. You want to get out there and you want to like feel the water. You don't want to read about the water, right? You want to jump in the water, right? So, but just don't go run off and start dating the first person you meet because it felt good when they hugged you. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's the message there. What's going on in the past? Ace of Swords. You know, you're primed and ready to go. This is a kind of an opportunity that comes from God, so to say. Anytime you get an ace, and an Ace of Swords, there's mental clarity, there's raw power, there's victory, there's breakthrough. You're more than prepared. I mean, I guess what I'm seeing here is that you have more than you need to move forward, and it's so much that I'm getting to the point where it's kind of like you're driving yourself crazy, kind of like waiting, right? You're gonna have to get out there, get to know people, get to talking to people. You have to really see for yourself. People are so different. They look so similar on the outside, but when you get in a relationship, when you get intimate with someone, you get to know them, when you really connect with someone, it's universes, man. Total universes. It's a beautiful thing. So get out there and explore it, because I'm telling you, man, it's like, it can be night and day. Someone can almost look the same, but when you really get connected with them, you have to see it, whether you can handle and want to be around that energy on a regular basis. You know, you have to really see what works for you and what jives for you or not. Once you spend a lot of time with someone, you start getting that close, you really want to know what's going on. Tower moment. Something's going to transform you. You're going to have you're going to have a breakdown or a breakthrough to get onto this next level. And, you know, like I said, you don't want to sit around. If you sit around too much, the universe will pull the chair out from underneath you, right? So you want to get out there and get active. Now, in regards to relationship, connecting with someone, you know, you got the Hermit. You know, I mean, these cards are so unbelievable sometimes. You know, here we are talking about sitting around too much, right? And kind of waiting for it to happen. And then you get the Hermit, you know. It's like you're just getting called out so hard. Don't be the Hermit. Okay, Ace of Wands. Okay, now, I'm not going to be shy about this, okay? The Ace of Wands, this is like a gift from heaven. You know, the wand is about vitality. This is about life force, you know, and without seeming weird or perverted about it, I mean, it's a staff. I mean, it's got its vigor, right? So what I'm seeing here is that you might have an intimate experience with someone that's gonna rock your world. It's gonna completely open you up to a whole new reality. This is sexuality here. This is somebody coming out of nowhere to stimulate this life force and to get you out of this hermit mode here, right? So, you know, I just read it the way I see it. You don't shoot the messenger, right? So, and yeah, then there you go. Then you go home and you tell your girlfriends and you're rejoicing. So, you know, that's just what I see. Sorry. It's just what it is. You're going to have somebody come out of nowhere and there's a vitality of sexuality that you can explore as much or as little as you like, but it's going to transform you, and you're going to be have plenty of reason to celebrate. So I think you're just getting initiated out into the world and connecting with people and learning what it's all about. And good luck on your journey. Respect yourself, respect other people. Relationships are a gift. They're agreements from two people. Nobody owes anyone anything. Be kind and be sensitive. Always treat someone else the way you want to be treated, and be honest about your needs and your feelings, and you'll be well on your way. So that's your message, Alexia. As far as time frame, I get let's see, what do I have here? I get 12. As far as time frame, it's 12. So that's 12 days, 12 weeks, or 12 months. Okay? So there's your time frame. 12 days, 12 weeks, 12 months. Okay? So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that's inspiring. But you got it all dialed in, man. There's nothing else for you to perfect. Just get out there. You know, start checking things out. You know, go to that invitation for this thing, or that invite for that online party, or whatever it is. You know, I know times are different right now, but there's plenty of opportunities still to connect with people out there. Okay, so yeah, but don't sit around and worry about it. You know, just be active. You're a Leo. You know, like use that sunshine energy to get out there and really have that vitality. You don't want that Virgo energy to kind of like nitpick stuff and be too intellectual and mindful, right? So you just want to stay. You already have the sun is your, you know, is your ruling planet, so to say, right? So you're blessed. You have everything you need. You know, you're not lacking anything. You're very mindful. You've been mindful about how you position yourself, right? You've done everything the right way, right? So anyway, sending lots of love. I always appreciate a subscribe or donation. Very helpful, but not required. Thank you so much for stopping by, and feel free to stop by anytime. I can give you readings every day if you want. All good. It's nice to hang out and have a community to connect with. All right, so oh, Sheely. I still like to call you Sheely, even though I know it's Shelly. Okay, nice to see you. How are you doing? Welcome. Okay, so guys, I need a little help here. Now, is it Papu? Are you still here, Papu? I believe he was next. Papu, you there, buddy? All right, Papu. Okay. And then I believe we have Jody. Alexia, you're very welcome. And God bless you on your journey. Go have fun. You know, this Scorpio full moon that's having today and tomorrow is about getting in touch with our deepest needs. So that this reading really is connected with the energy of the planets right now. So, you know, like, life has all sorts of dynamics to it, man. Get out there and enjoy yourself. Okay, wonderful, Papu. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your patience. How can I help you this evening? And what do you have on your mind? And let's see where... Papu, I'm going back to your question. You did write it here. He would like to know if my crush, AS, is in relation with her close coworker, her character aspect, and whether my employment is on the way sooner. Okay, so I get I do understand the part of the question when you say that you have a crush at work. I'm assuming that you work together with your crush and this coworker you're talking about, and you're questioning her character, and then the question about whether your employment is on the way sooner. Expand on that a little bit. Are you asking, are you going to be getting a job sooner, or do you not have a job right now? I can see it a couple different ways. On one level, I see you're not working and you have a crush who is working, and there may be someone at work that she's connecting with you're not sure about. Or I could see it as you're all working at the same place, but I'm not understanding the employment question. So if you could clarify a little bit, or if anyone else has some insight there, that would be wonderful. Jody, Scorpio, are you feeling it? It's emotional. My son's a Scorpio. We had a deep emotional talk today. Okay, so everything requires some sort of insight or question. It can just be spiritual insight. And then anyone who knows their astrological signs, that's helpful during the reading. Okay, so you're in a place she's working. Okay, I see. So there's some energy there, and you're probably feeling a little down about it. Now, because it is getting pretty late here, I'm probably going to have to wrap it up. I think it was after Jody here. So after Jody, if that's okay, guys. But anyone else? I guess Shelly, you came in. I'll see how I'm feeling in a little bit here, but I'm getting a little tired. I might wrap it up here after Jody. Papu, let's see what's going on here. And you're curious about whether... now, is she aware that you have feelings for her at all? Or is it something that you're just feeling attracted to her and that you're feeling like there might be somebody else that she's already involved with and you're not sure? Is that what's going on? So you're asking specifically about her character, right? So let's look in, and we'll do this 3-card reading based on where she's coming from as a person, from who she is in the earth plane, what's motivating her on a spiritual level, and what's going on in her subconscious realms, what she's motivated by. And then we could probably cross that to see what's going on the other side. So, let's see how we're doing. Thank you for your patience, Shelly. I appreciate it. All right, so Papu, why don't you pick deck 1, 2, or 3, and you can kind of choose your own adventure, so to say, right? Would you like deck 1, 2, or 3? There we go. So we'll do, that's 1. This one's 2, and this one's 3. You pick, choose your own adventure here, and let's try to see what's going on here. By the way, this is all my own music. If you guys like it, I hope you like it. Love sharing my music. Plus, I don't get copyright strikes from YouTube. I accidentally played Biggie Smalls the other day. Got like 6 copyright strikes. Shelly, thanks for stopping by again, and please come back soon. I look forward to reading for you. Come on when I first sign on with your notifications on, and I'm happy to give you a full reading for you next time, okay? Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Shelly. That's such a kind thing to say. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot. I'm getting a little tired. It's about 1 o'clock my time. Okay, so Papu, we got number 1. Thank you so much, Shelly. Have a beautiful evening, and I look forward to another visit soon, if you feel free to. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords in reverse, right? So let's just kind of get an idea of where she's coming from right now. So the Ace of Swords in reverse is, it's kind of a little bit, she's confused. You know, there's a little bit of chaos, a little bit of lack of clarity. When people feel this way, they're not really sure about what they're doing themselves, right? So, you know, she might just be floating a little bit, right? Okay. What's motivating her is she's trying to come out of this kind of pointless movement in her life of kind of trying things out. Some things work, some things don't. And she's just kind of tried things and she doesn't know what's going on. And she's kind of like sick and tired of that. So she does... Whoa. Just had something fall off my shelf. That was crazy. A little scary there. Crazy omen or something. Wow, that was crazy. So anyway, as I'm talking about this card of coming out of these fantasies and delusions, right? I think she's probably messed around a little bit with energy, to be honest with you. So the way I would see this is she's kind of healing and coming out of a manipulative type of focus. Not that it's always conscious. It's just that sometimes we're taught that socially, right? That, you know, bigger, better deal, you know, trying to get yours, that kind of vibe, right? So, you know, but as spiritual beings and beings that have a conscience, eventually we kind of figure this stuff out the hard way, so to say, right? So she's just kind of was in that kind of energy, and now she's moving into, you know, wanting to get a little bit clearer in regards to that stuff. But she's not totally clear yet. So you might want to know, but she kind of doesn't even know, right? Do you get it? Okay. So in the recent past, again, this is the card I just pulled earlier. I mean, she probably is somewhat attractive, and probably in the past was somewhat difficult or knew she was attractive and used that. You know, to be honest with you, this card is kind of seen as a kind of a bitchy card. You know, so you take that as however you want to take it. But again, this is all the past stuff, and I think she's really genuinely wanting to arrive to a new place of higher values and higher expressions, right? So, like I said, and I was saying this earlier to another reading I did, is that, you know, when somebody you're interested in is kind of going through some sort of spiritual transformation or intermediate point, they don't know totally what's going on. And if you're the dude who shows up and you're like super excited about the girl who doesn't know what she's doing, it can be kind of annoying for them to have somebody who's kind of pushing something when they're not in a space to really receive, right? So what I was telling him is it's a great time to be curious. It's a great time to demonstrate your value by showing curiosity, by communicating, by showing your value in your character as a human being, right? And it's a great opportunity to be selfless. Now, and I wanted to pull a card to see what your dynamics would be together. Now, this card's really, it's the devil, right? So this is an important card to understand, okay? Now, when you see like the card of death or the devil or things like that, you can easily just look at it at face value and judge it. We don't want to do that. These are symbolic archetypes for our life's journey, right? So the devil in this situation, well, let me explain the card first, okay? So you have a female and you have a male here, and they're chained to the centerpiece that the devil's standing on, right? And so they're under his influence, so to say, right? But if you look really closely, I can't really refocus it, but if you look really closely at this card, the chains that are around their necks are loose. They're perfectly big enough and easy to just slowly pull right off, right? So what it's telling us is that everything this symbolizes, right, which is addiction, it's every kind of addiction you can imagine, right? It's like being a slave to love, a slave to sex, a slave to drugs, a slave to sugar, a slave to needing things to be a certain way, a slave to a mindset, right? Whatever it is, it just means that your spirit's not free because it's so enthralled in something else. It's so enthralled in some desire or some sort of attachment to some sort of outcome, right? Now, that's the explanation of the card. In regards to how this applies to your situation is, I think you could get hooked on the sugar, and it could be something that could be detrimental, to a certain degree. Now, in regards to, whether she's with this other person or something like that, I don't see a totally healthy dynamic here. I see someone who's still transitioning out of a manipulative type of dynamic in the past. So whether or not she's with someone else or not, I can see that, especially with Gemini, the Venus going retrograde in Gemini in the next week here, it's a funky time, man. It's a funky time to be playing with energies and dynamics and relationships, and you can easily get into third-party situations or weird sexual fetishes, and who knows what kind of whipped cream and goats are involved, you know what I mean? That kind of wacky, weird stuff. Now, we're going to ask specifically about whether she's with this dude or not, and you get the Tower. So, need I say any more? This is a life-changing breakdown of some sort. I don't think you want to play with the fire, I'll be real honest with you. I think you could probably do a lot better as far as what's best for your soul, your spirit. But I will say this, is some of the most fun times I've had in my life were just like this. It involved things breaking, a slave to love. I mean, this stuff can be hot as hell, right? Who am I joking here, right? And I know every one of you know what I'm talking about on some level. So if you want to have fun, man, this is the party you want to go to. If you don't want to sell your soul or wake up in a gutter, somewhere down the line, think twice about it, right? So, I have a feeling this has the potential to be something to be playful, but I don't think it's going to end well no matter what. But if you're open to it, and everyone's honest about it, then, you're not creating karma for yourself or others. So I wish I could tell you something different, but I'm just calling it how I see it, man. So hopefully that was helpful for you, Papu. You want to go play, man, have some fun, but I just be mindful about the long-term consequences of certain dynamics and situations. So anyway, I hope that's helpful for you. Sending you lots of love on your journey. Looks like a lot of fun, dude. Just you gotta know it. You gotta be willing to pay the debt, so to say. The karmic and energetic debt. So hopefully that's helpful for you. We have Jody with an E. I would say Jody with a lot of patience. Up next, she's been hanging out, waiting for her reading. Thank you so much, Jody. Appreciate it. Papu, if you need any more clarity, just let me know. I'm happy to pull another card for you. Jody, what's going on? You're a Scorpio. And I think I'm going to go back here a little bit. I think you did tell me a little bit more. You said you're triple water. Triple water. Will I get my message across? I want to say, will I talk to you? Will I get my message? Okay, so I just need a little more clarity in your question, Jody. It's I don't know if there was a typo here. Will I talk? I'm Scorpio, Cancer, Sun, Moon in Pisces, rising Venus in Scorpio. Well, aren't you just the feeler? Well, you're probably very spiritual. You're probably very intuitive. I wouldn't be surprised if you're an empath or a reader yourself. Scorpio, Sun, Cancer, Moon. Okay, so what is? Let's see. Haven't, but what? I'm sorry. Maybe I missed your question. But if you could clarify your question a little bit, that would be great. Are you looking for a reading on spiritual growth, or you just want to see what comes up? Is it a love question? What are you seeking information on, Jody? I have a Pisces moon. I've got a Pisces moon. I was born on I have a Pisces full moon. I was born on a full moon. Having a Pisces moon is an amazing lesson. Now we come here with all these energies, right? We have all the different signs. They all have different energies. They all have negatives and positives. Will I talk to T? Oh, to T. Will my message get across that I want to say? So I'm assuming T is a person. Will I talk to T? Will my message get across? Okay. You're welcome, Papu. I hope that was helpful for you. Yeah, just be mindful with your journey. I mean, that's a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy there, Papu. You know, a lot of energy that can, depending on who's wielding it around, can be, you know, either fun or dangerous. So just be mindful. Yeah, I could tell with your... Yeah, I have a Cancer ascendant and a Pisces full moon, so I definitely can feel you on a lot of levels. But your question, I'm just a little unclear on. Will I talk to T? T is a person, and then so you want to know if you're going to talk to this person, and whether or not what you're wanting to get across will be understood. Is that correct? I'm assuming T is a love interest, or I'm sorry, Jody. I'm just trying to understand here. Oh no! I just wanted to make sure it was. I think maybe because it was lowercase t, I wasn't connecting it just the way I see things, you know. So I get it. Okay, so no, it's okay. I don't need his name. Okay, so T, and will you get his message across? Well, let's just see. I think what the way these cards work usually is we'll just kind of see what's going on, right? Like what's really happening here. You know, what's the spiritual message? What's really happening behind this? I can feel already that there's a deep need to share something. I'm assuming it's a romantic relationship. Hi, Gaurav. How are you? You know, I actually, I'm just finishing the last reading for the night, but I would be so happy to give you a reading. If you hit subscribe and you turn on your notifications, I go on almost every single day. You'll get a notification, you show up, and I give you a full reading. Free of charge, and I would love to help you. My problem right now is where I'm at, it's real late at night, and I'm just kind of falling asleep. So I appreciate you stopping by, and if you'd subscribe, I would love to give you a reading really soon. So that would be great. And feel free to hang out if you want to look into Jody's reading here. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I look forward to talking with you soon. I'll probably be back on tomorrow. Okay? All right, wonderful. Have a good night. Oh, it's not a romantic situation. Okay, then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to keep this really private for you, and I'm going to just put the cards out, and let's see what comes up, okay? Legal thing, gotcha. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the cards down and let them speak for themselves, and you can make the connection. You have a Pisces moon just like I do, right? So you're super sensitive and intuitive, and you're going to see this too for what it is, okay? So sounds like there's some energy going on here. Got my detective hat on. You got me excited here. Let's see what's going on. What's going on with Jody? Jody with an E. Jody. All right, Jody. Okay, so Jody, why don't you pick ahead of time? Do you want pile 1, 2, or 3? You know, ultimately, you know, they're all spiritual lessons. So let's see what's going on here. Okay, so I'm gonna put out pile 1. That's pile 1, Jody. You have every opportunity in the world to pick whatever pile you want. That's pile 1, 2, and 3. Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, Gorov. I'll do a 3-card reading for you. As soon as I'm done with Jody here. Thank you so much for the subscribe. Yeah, I'm happy to do that for you. That would be helpful for you. Okay, so you get to pick, Jody, 1, 2, or 3. Which one would you like? Have been brought truth to truth. 2, can I switch over there? 1. Okay, so I'm gonna just let Spirit come through and guide this narrative, and we can see what's going on, okay? And I want you to just take it and meditate on it, okay? And see what comes in the dream times, okay? Okay, so we have this symbol of a family here, right? And this is completion. This has the couple, it has the kids, it has the dogs, it has the older male, it has a coat that shows like the family heritage on it. It has the archway that they built a heritage here, right? So this is family. Family foundations, inheritance, right? Money. You know, this is, you know, a lifetime's work of multiple people to create this foundation, right? So this is the theme of it here, okay? Now what's influencing it is the Chariot in reverse. So there's something within this family heritage or this foundation, this culture, this history that's not going to move forward. Something's changing. So this is like as if the family's breaking apart, or that there's some legacy that's going to no longer move forward, right? So these are deep-rooted foundations. So whether that's literal or symbolic, right? So that's going to be, there's some sort of deep-rooted foundation that will no longer be. It could be a family business going out of business. It could be families splitting apart, and the resources of that family being broken up, or something along those lines. The Chariot in reverse is saying this is going to be, you know, no longer moving forward, right? In the past, we have this person who's well-to-do. They've had all their needs met. They've invested wisely, and they're confident about their foundations. Now, what appears to me is that there's been some level of stability that's being compromised on some level here. There's something that is no longer going to be moving forward, or something that's going to end. And this is emotional because it's connected with human beings, so to say, and investments that people have made. Coming up in the near future, you have the Page of Cups in reverse. So this is kind of a destiny card here. So the Page of Cups, the page is somebody who's new, they're young, it's a new journey, it's a new experience. But in the reverse position, this can mean some sort of emotional immaturity or creative block. So this is an energy of, you know, basically the idea here is that what we want to do is we want to overcome. See, our emotions are wonderful tools to indicate what's possible and what's happening around us, right? It informs us with information, right? The emotions inform us with information that we can then act on. That's helpful. Now, emotional immaturity is when those emotions drive our behavior beyond reason, right? So it's just letting the emotion drive the ship as opposed to evaluating the emotion and then making decisive decisions that serve the greatest good or the common good of everyone involved. Now, if people just let their emotions drive the boat, then we have calamity, right? So I think in your situation, there's some sort of fundamental or foundational thing that's shifting, something's ending. It involves heritage, it involves legacy, it involves family, connection, some sort of symbology like that, deep-rooted traditions, and there is a certain level of emotional immaturity. So in regards to your question, I'm not getting an indication that this person, whoever T is very emotionally mature or able to be emotionally mature moving forward here. I'll pull one more card, and yeah, so we've got, basically someone who's a jealous person. So you're gonna have to learn how to work with that energy and protect yourself in whatever dynamic you're in. I really don't know the details of your situation. I can just read the cards and tell you what I see. Yeah, so you want to move forward, but basically, I feel like there's a big shift. Something that's been around for a long time is no longer moving forward. There's a lot of emotional immaturity around you in regards to the situation. So it's going to be up to you to manage that, and to be the one to really play catch, and learn how to navigate the waters of this. In a way that's the best, that serves you the best, right? So one more card here is you got the Two of Swords. So this is there's what appears on the surface, right? But then there's what's actually happening on the spiritual level. So what's happening on the spiritual levels is you have the Two of Swords, and this is creating mental balance, right? This is like avoiding mental extremes. Like we don't go too far this way, don't go too far that way. Some days feels a little darker, a little tougher. Some days feel a little brighter, right? But we don't take it too bright because then we know we're going to go real dark. And we don't go too dark because then we're going to get too fantastical or excited, right? When we come out of that. So, hey, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. I'm just wrapping up the readings for the evening, but you're more than welcome to subscribe and turn on notifications. And as soon as I'm back on again, probably tomorrow, you're happy to feel free to stop by. It's just getting pretty late here, so I'm going to get some rest, but I do appreciate you stopping by. But again, if you subscribe and turn on notifications, I'm happy to give you a reading. I'm usually on for a couple hours every day. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. So anyway, so the real work for you here, Jody, is as you're going through these processes, is to not let yourself be pushed too far one direction emotionally. You're learning to master the mind and balance the mind and learn that emotions are indicators of truths, and to learn how to work with those. So for instance, fear is really concern, right? If you feel fearful, you're concerned. So you have to evaluate with these two swords, okay, what's the concern? Is it really a concern? How concerned do I need to be? And how do I act on this concern so this no longer nags at me, right? That's an example of how you work with these emotions. So anyway, that's your reading, Jody. I hope it's helpful for you. Well, the thing is that it doesn't matter if somebody likes what you have to say, as long as you speak from the truth and you're kind about it and you're honest about it. You're not creating any deficit or karma for yourself, right? So, like I said, jealousy, lack of emotional immaturity here. You're going to have to protect yourself and be mindful and really discerning about how you approach the situation and how you move forward. So anyway, so that's your reading for the night. I'm going to have to wrap it up here for the night. Getting pretty sleepy here, but I'm going to pull one more 3-card reading here for our new friend Gaurav, who came in to visit. Thank you so much for visiting. Gaurav, I'm probably not pronouncing it very right, but you want to know what positive changes are coming in your life. Nope, you didn't miss your turn. I'm going to give it to you right now. Thank you for stopping by. So what positive changes are coming in Gaurav's? I'm sorry, I'm not really good at pronouncing. What positive changes are coming in Gaurav's life? Let's check them out. We'll do a 3-card reading for Gaurav. Thank you for stopping by. How was your evening tonight? It's pretty late here. I'm not sure what time it is where you're at, but I get some sleep after this. But let's tune in and let's see what positive changes are coming for Gaurav in his life. Let's see what positive changes. It's always interesting to see how people ask questions. I really like the way that you pose that question. Real focus on positivity. What positive changes? Now, I do readings for spiritual growth, so it's usually indicative of what will be the best for everyone's spiritual growth and everyone involved. Hey, Fanny, how are you? You're welcome, Jody. I hope that's helpful to you. You know, you're really cultivating strength right now and mental balance, and it's a wonderful time for you to really come into your power. And with that Pisces moon, just keep in mind, the lesson with Pisces is to master the tides of emotions, right? So as a Pisces, when the water rises, right, and we feel good, or we're deep in something, as soon as those tides come out, you know, sometimes we don't know that it's time to put our sail up and move out with the water. Basically what that means symbolically is when to let go of something. So that's the lessons with Pisces, Pisces moons especially. So you just need to be discerning and in life in general throughout your entire life and know when to let go of things, because if you don't, as the tide goes out and you're like kind of trying to hold on to the land, you kind of tear down and bring everything with it, right? So that's kind of the lesson with Pisces moon. So if you know that, and you can really avoid a lot of things. You don't want to get too wrapped up in things that you need to kind of move on from, right? Because if you set your sail while the tide's going out, then the boat moves faster to the newest opportunity instead of just sitting there kind of being upset about what changed or all that stuff. So just look for signs of when it's time to move on and when life is kind of showing you that there's natural changes. And it's just trying to bring you to a higher shore, a new horizon, so to say. So Jody, with that, I wish you best on your journey, and may all the blessings follow you. Okay, so hi Fanny, thanks for stopping by. I'm actually just finishing up doing the last reading for the night right now, but like I told Dr. Bunsen, is if you subscribe and turn on your notifications, I go on almost every day, and I'm really be happy and look forward to meeting with you. Where I'm at right now, it's like 1:30 in the morning, and so I'm still a little sleepy right now. I'm gonna be heading to bed here soon, but I'd love to talk with you again soon. He's a Capricorn, you're a Capricorn, he's a Leo. It's a good combination, some good vibes. Again, I'll have to wait, but please subscribe and turn on notifications, and I'll give you one right away. Mr. Sharma is, yeah, I'm sorry, I know, I'm just trying to wrap it up here. I'm actually kind of doing a few more than I was supposed to, and just feeling a little tired, my throat's getting a little dry, so I appreciate the understanding, thank you. Mr. Sharma here. Let's see what's going on. Now, Mr. Sharma, why don't you pick a pile, 1, 2, or 3, okay? And you get to pick your destiny, where the messages are. That's 1, 2, that's 3. Which deck would you like, Mr. Sharma? 1, 2, or 3? And we'll see what positive changes are coming for you in your life. I love the way you pose that question. Very mindful. What positive changes are coming here? I hope you have a wonderful evening, Fanny, and please feel free to hang out. Yeah, Mr. Sharma, would you like pile number 1, number 2, or number 3? 3. All right, pile number 3. Let's see what's going on. What positive changes are coming from Mr. Sharma? Now, I just read the cards. They're what's best for your spiritual growth is the intention here. So let's see what it says. Now, this is a wonderful card here. So the King of Pentacles, this is, you know, the master of resources. Oh my gosh, Mr. Sharma. I don't know if you're a businessman. I don't know if you're just generally lucky. Wow. Well, you got two kings. You got the King of Pentacles in your present position. You have the King of Wands in the past. So you've already gotten in touch with your vitality. You've already gotten in touch with your presence as a physical being on the planet. You're in touch with your life force, okay? And you've mastered that. And once you master that, you're able to then not only create balance within your life and those who are in relationship with you, but then you have an overabundance to offer others also. So congratulations, you've done a lot of work and honored who you are. In your current position, you have the King of Pentacles. So much like the King of Wands, he's somebody who's taken the time to take things serious and to really master his resources. And again, not only does that create balance for him and those who he has relations with, but it also creates an overabundance of material wealth and positivity to share with others, right? So the Queen of Pentacles coming up in the future, she has a certain kind of energy. Now the Queen of Pentacles is obviously the consort to the King of Pentacles, right? So it's kind of like your equal, right? She's also done the work to establish her resources and create an overabundance. But in the reverse position, it can often be that similar kind of energy, but maybe kind of out of balance or a need for correction. Now, this can also be a wonderful opportunity for you to be a teacher, right? So somebody may come into your life who thinks they have it figured out, and then you end up being able to really provide some pointers and really kind of take her under your wing, right? So, I kind of see this as more of a relationship possibility. It could be a business partner, but it's somebody who's of equal caliber. It could also be a business. It could start as a business dynamic and turn into a love relationship. I'm not sure what your situation is, but this is somebody who could use a little bit of your wisdom. This is somebody who could really use your insight and your mastery, right? So here she is, and she's kind of, I think she's really worked hard and to establish herself in the world, but she almost kind of like needs your focus or your guidance to really balance things out, so to say. So, but you also admire, the clout that she's created for herself in her life and what she has to bring to the table for you, because it's really rare with this level of accomplishment that you've achieved here between the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles energy. It's really rare that you have somebody come around you or be in your field that you would respect and admire, who's doing the same kind of work, so to say, right? So these are very personal, deep spiritual choices that you make as an individual. It's to work this hard to achieve this level of mastery and patience. It takes a lot of patience and a lot of hard work, and you do it for yourself, not to look good or kind of short winning, so to say. So, what's positive coming your way? I think you have a wonderful feminine presence coming your way. She might be a little unskilled in some ways, or still learning how to wield her resources and learn how to balance them correctly. But it's somebody that you're going to really admire and respect. So I think it's a really beautiful thing. And then, if I pull another card here to kind of say a conclusion here, you get the World card. So, together the world is yours. I'm not really sure what this means for you personally, Mr. Sharma, but I see a real positive message here. I got to say, it might be one of the most positive readings I've done in, the last month. So, do you see someone from my past is coming towards me from this cards? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's pull a number card here. I get the number 6. Okay. Now, something to be mindful of is that in the next in the next week or so, is the planet Venus goes retrograde, right? So, please take mental note that if you meet somebody in the next 6 weeks, during that period of 6 weeks, when it goes direct at the end of June, you most likely won't feel the same way about it. So you don't really want to get into relationships in the next 6 weeks, so to say. But after that 6 week period would be a wonderful time, right? So, and the reason I say that is that you might have someone come back from the past, because Venus, when it goes retrograde, we do have people coming from the past. So I don't get the feeling that this is somebody from the past. I get the feeling that this is somebody that's fresh energy, but I don't think it's going to come until after the end of June. It would be July at the very earliest, if it's 6 weeks, and or it could be more towards November than that time period if it represents 6 months. So 6 weeks or 6 months is what I'm seeing here. So, Mr. Sharma, I really appreciate you stopping by. I hope that's helpful for you. I would just stay away from making any commitments and relationships for the next 6 weeks, and then see what comes up after that. You might meet somebody who's a businesswoman or knows how to really manage her resources well, that's going to really catch your eye and really impress you. Someone you could really help out a lot and really help lift her to the same level of status that you are. What we want to do is we want to turn her around, get her a little more skilled with her what she's doing, get her mind focused with the lessons you've learned, and then you guys will be this beautiful combination of King and the Queen of Pentacles, and the world will be yours. So there's your message for the evening, Mr. Sharma. I really appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the subscribe. And anyone else watching, if you guys want a reading, just hit subscribe, turn those notifications on. I do this almost every day, and I really look forward to reading for you. I hope that everyone has an opportunity to grow spiritually through this lifetime, and that we learn to lessen the suffering for ourselves and others, and that we are able to find a light in the dark, and maybe even be a light for someone else. So sending you guys lots of love. I really appreciate you guys stopping by, and feel free to come by anytime. Check out my website, StreetLevel.Live. I do astrology charts, I do personal readings, I do Zoom calls. We can just hang out and talk over the computer for an hour and do a reading, just talk about your life, see what's going on, whatever you would like. But I'll be here for you guys. I hope you guys have a great night. Have a great Scorpio full moon. Things are real emotional for the next couple days. Feel it out, get your needs met, take care of yourself, and I'll see you